Hello, welcome to RCC's Math Tape 089, Intercepts and Slopes of Lines. We have a lot of material to cover in this unit. Be careful as you take your notes. Be sure to take them thoroughly and accurately. Be careful as you draw the graphs that are involved in this lesson. If you have trouble with any of the topics, be sure to mark the places on your paper where you're having difficulty so that you can get help from your professor or from a lab instructor or tutor when you go to the math lab. Now let's begin. Our first objective is, given the equation of a line, find the x and y intercepts. Given the equation of a line, find the x and y intercepts. Second, find the slope of a line given 2 points. Find the slope of a line given 2 points. Third, find the slope of a line given its graph. And finally, find the slope of a line given its equation. You notice that we're working with slope from 2 points, the graph, and the equation of the line. 3 different sources. But let's begin with the first objective, which is the x and y intercepts. Definitions of these two. First, the x-intercept of a graph is the point A0 where the graph intersects, that is, crosses or touches, the x-axis. The x-intercept of a graph is the point A0 where the graph intersects, that is, crosses or touches the x-axis. Similarly, the y-intercept of a graph is the point 0b, where the graph intersects the y-axis. So we're working with 2 points, the x-intercept and the y-intercept. The x-intercept has coordinates A0. The y-intercept has coordinates 0b. Let's take a look at a graph which has the x and y intercepts indicated. Since we're working with graphs of lines, I've drawn a line, and the line touches the x-axis at the point A0, the y-axis at the point 0b. Counting from the origin, we would count to the left a units, and then not up or down any. That is, the 0 coordinate would mean we don't leave the x-axis. Counting from the origin, we go none sideways, and then, in this case, up b units. So the 0 coordinate of the y-intercept indicates that we do not move sideways from the origin, but rather either up or down. In the case of my drawing here, we would move up. Well, this gives us an idea about how we go about finding the x and y intercepts. The procedure is to find the x-intercept, find the solution of the equation having y-coordinate 0. To find the x-intercept, find the solution of the equation having y-coordinate 0. So we look for some point, something 0. We don't know what this value is for the x-coordinate, but we do know that the y-coordinate will be 0. Similarly, to find the y-intercept, find the solution of the equation having x-coordinate 0. For the y-intercept, the x value must be 0. When we find the intercepts, we typically are working from an equation. So, as our first example, let's find x and y intercepts for a line. The instructions read, find the x and y intercepts of 2x minus y equals 6. 2x minus y equals 6. Well, to do this, we'll find the points where first the y-coordinate is 0. So in the table of values that we work with on the equation, the y value is 0. Then that means that we can fill in 2x minus the y value of 0 equals 6. Well, this gives 2x equals 6. Dividing by 2, we get x equals 3. And so 3, 0 is the point where the graph touches the x-axis. To find the y-intercept, we must let the x value be 0. And so our equation is 2 times the x value of 0, subtract y equals 6. 2 times 0 subtract y is the opposite of y. Opposite of y equals 6. This is actually negative 1 times y. So we divide both sides by negative 1 and get y equals negative 6. So the y value is negative 6. Well, this means then that the x-intercept is 3, 0, and the y-intercept is 0, negative 6. So here our two results are the x-intercept is 3, 0, the y-intercept is 0, negative 6. Now let me give you an exercise to do. This says, find the x and y intercepts of 3x add 2y equals negative 8. 3x plus 2y equals negative 8. Once you have the problem copied, stop the tape, work the problem, then turn the tape back on and check your answers. The answers are the x-intercept is negative 8/3, 0, and the y-intercept is 0, negative 4. If you made mistakes and can't determine what you did wrong, be sure to mark that on your paper so that you can ask for help. Now let's turn our attention to the slope. The slope of a line is a measure of the slant of the line. The slope of a line is a measure of the slant of the line. Since a slope is a measure, that means that we'll find a number for the slope. So we'll actually find a numerical value describing the slant of the line. To find this value, we use the fact that the slope is a ratio of vertical change to horizontal change along the line. Slope is vertical change over horizontal change. The slope is measured between 2 points on a line, and so we have a formula which says for point number 1, P sub 1, which is x1, y1, and point number 2, x2, y2, the slope m is equal to y2 subtract y1 over x2 subtract x1. This is one of the most important formulas you will find in all of graphing. It's vital that you get this down accurately. Be sure it's correct. This is a very, very important formula. M, which stands for slope, equals y2 subtract y1 over x2 subtract x1. If we're starring important formulas, this one will get lots and lots of stars. This one has lots of stars. You must memorize this formula. You will be expected to know it by heart as you work with lines and deal with the slope.